Hi, I'm coming to you live from North Dakota. I'm in Theodore Roosevelt National Park camp hosting for the summer. Originally, I started camp hosting about 4.5 years ago, or traveling. I sold my house and I decided I was going to go out and adventure, partially because my dad was 62 and he retired in August and he passed in November. And it taught me, don't wait. You got to go out and do things now. You don't have a guarantee that tomorrow will even be there. So even though a lot of people say, oh, I'm going to do that, a lot of people don't do it. It takes a lot of courage to sell your all everything in your house, including like uh, hope chests from your great grandmother and things like that. So it is very hard to do, and that was probably one of the hardest things, was to empty and sell my house. Um, and then the day that I was going to leave to go travel, I remember standing in the driveway trying to put on some hose or some kind of connection, and I just couldn't get my fingers to do it. And I just started crying and saying, I can't do this. And it was really hard to get the courage to get up and go. So I left the next morning and I started out. This was in 2021, and I was heading from Florida to Oregon. And I was going to do it. I was going to do it. On the way up, I stopped in North Carolina to visit my daughter. And on the way up, I had a flat tire. And it was so devastating and hard. The first time I hooked up the sewer at a campsite, I forgot to close the valve all the way, and I was right in front of the camp store. And I remember pulling out that lever, taking off the cap, and just everything just flying out all over the place, all over me, all over the ground. I just didn't know what I was going to do, and I was so defeated. It took me about a week to get my courage back to be able to get in and go all the way to Oregon. I couldn't think of the whole trip. I had to think of one step at a time. I was going to do one day. So today I'm going to wherever it was, Pennsylvania or Tennessee, or every day I would just think of it as one more day and what I was going to do for that one day. So that is one of the ways you get through it. It is very scary. It's really scary. But on the same level, it's very satisfying, very rewarding, and you feel very inspired by being able to do it by yourself. And I remember getting gas and checking my tires one time, and a guy saw me with this big rig, and he just put his thumbs up and told me, yeah, like girl power. And I was like, yep. A lot of people don't believe that I do this alone. I'm 68 years old, and I travel with my two companions. I have Merlin, a Great Dane, and Tia, the Labradoodle. And they're the ones that have kept me sane. Without them, I probably wouldn't have been able to do this. But I did make it all the way to Oregon. And so many people say, you traveling alone, like with that? I'm like, yes. I drove horse trailers most of my life, so I was able to navigate a trailer and be able to back it up. There's definitely some times where you just can't do it. You just have to get out, walk around the vehicle, reassess everything, and then get back in after a minute or two, and just go for it. It's not easy, but it is rewarding. And I always tell women, just empower yourself, get out there and do it. Don't let him do everything and you just sit inside the truck and wait or watch. Be able to do it yourself so that you can empower yourself. And if anything happens to him, you want to know that you're able to get up and to hook that trailer up or empty that septic or hook up the power and the water. But you can't unless you try. And it's nothing that you can't do. You just have to build your confidence. And slowly, every time I get in the truck and I go to the next campground, I my confidence builds and builds. Now, after sitting 6 months as a camp host, and I get back to go, and head off again, it's like doing it all over again. It's brand new. So it is, again, you have to rebuild your confidence and just get up and go. And like I said, a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that," but very few people do, especially women by themselves. And if they do, they're usually in a van and that type of thing, which is pretty easy, I think. This is important to me because I sold my home. This is my home. It's a really nice trailer. It's an Alliance Avenue, 29 RL. It has everything an apartment would have. It's plush inside. It's really nice, and I try to keep it really nice. And it's been very rewarding. So, like I said, I camp host, and I camp host every summer. I have been to several places. The first summer I went to Oregon. And the next summer I went to, I think, Maine. Then I went to Cody, Wyoming, at the gateways of Yellowstone at Buffalo Bill State Park. Then I went back to Oregon, and now I am in North Dakota at a national park. So each different place gives you different opportunities. I like to stay long so I can kind of get to know the lay of the land and feel like, I really did immerse myself in the environment because it is like this place is not as extravagant as some, but it's a beautiful park and it's underrated and there's wildlife all over the place. And to be in a campground where there's no fences and bison just run through right by your trailer, 100 of them, calves and mamas and papas and yearlings, and they just, as they're running, you can actually feel the ground going, vibrating. It's amazing, and they are beautiful creatures, and I'm just so blessed to be here. Um, just every day you have to look at it as this day is important and you are lucky to have it and you have to make something of it every single day. If you don't, you're missing a day. And you can't go back and get it. And we don't have, this one thing is, it is a finite time that we have. So we have to make sure that every day matters. Either the people that you meet or the things that you see or do or think, and just stay active. This is what this lifestyle has done for me is keeps me active. I don't just let the dogs out in the backyard to go to the bathroom. I walk them 3, 4 times a day. I also walk around the campsites and I check the sites. And I put up signs for tags. In some places, I've had to clean the bathrooms or mow the lawns or blow the sidewalk and the driveways for the campers. So it's always something different. And this is kind of a nice gig. This is in the national park, and they have a maintenance crew, so I don't have to do the restrooms. I basically just have to put up the signs and change them daily based on who's coming in and who's leaving. And I also help guide people to their sites, or if there's problems, I find them a different site. I educate them about the bison in the park and how to handle if they do come to your site. I direct them to different walks or programs that the national park has and maybe recommend some hikes, that type of thing. So it's very social. But I always say to my friend, you get to know somebody and you kind of make like a quick bond because you're talking and you're sharing and it feels really good. And next thing you know, poof, they're gone. So I always say, my people come and go so quickly around here. And that's how it feels. So it is hard to develop long-term relationships. This is the first time in my adult life that I am single and alone, and it's by choice. But at times it's very, very, I'm not lonely, but I'm alone a lot. And sometimes I really wish I had someone to share with, besides my dogs. Not that I want to shove them in my RV and kind of cramp my space that way, but the ideal is you have an RV, I have an RV, we travel, and then we stop somewhere, we kind of get together and hang out, and then the next place, you get in your RV, I get in mine, and off we go together. And that way we don't lose our independence. You definitely have some things to share with somebody if you want to go places, hiking, bike riding, kayaking, movies, whatever. You have a companion to do it with, and that's kind of what I'm looking at. And looking for, I guess. But, God will put that person in my life when that time is ready. Until then, I'm quite content being alone, and I truly enjoy this lifestyle, and I encourage people to take it up. Don't be afraid to be alone and do this. You can do it. Obviously, a dog or two helps you to feel more confident, and also it makes it so you're not wandering around aimlessly. Um, you have a dog, so you can wander around with purpose. And so it does break the ice too, with Great Dane, to talk to people. A lot of people come to me and they're so excited about petting the dog, and it starts a conversation, and it's an icebreaker. So as I involve or evolve in this channel, I want to share some of the things that I come across, both as far as sightseeing and parks and animals, but I also want to share the independence, the solo trip, the fears and the joys, and all the different things that may happen to you when you're traveling. I mean, I'm the queen of flat tires. During my course of 4 years, I probably had 6 or 8 flat tires during this time. I don't think anybody I know has had that many. I have people tell me they traveled for years and never had a flat tire. Well, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I handle it. You don't get upset. You just figure out what it is you need to do to resolve it, and then you just go on the path to correct things and make it right. You can't freak out. You can't, oh my God, oh my God. You can't do that. You have to just keep going and figure out what the problem is, how the problem can be fixed, and then take the steps to make the problem better, and continue on your way. So I hope that you join my channel and subscribe. I am thrilled to have you watch me. I'm going to be building more confidence as I talk, and I hope that I can keep your interest and show you different things that are exciting as I go along the way. And thank you for watching, and press that subscribe button. Thank you. Bye now.